Hi, thanks for joining me today for Restorative Yoga. Just want to remind you to please consult with a physician prior to class. Please discuss any limitations with them. And please know that your participation today is at your own risk. So I just want to let you know if you do experience any discomfort to please honor that knowing. Modify those postures or actions as needed. And as a reminder, one of the main principles of yoga is nonviolence, or Ahimsa in Sanskrit. So nothing should feel forced, violent, or painful in any way. And please work within your own range of motion. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and step to the front of our mats here. So I don't have any music playing, so if you like, go ahead and get some music playing in your background if you like, Spotify or Amazon Prime. Just Google like a spa station and just go ahead and put that on in the background to create a little bit of ambiance if you like for yourself. So go ahead and pause your video at this time and go ahead and get that all set up. And once you're ready, go ahead, hit play again and we'll get going. So. All right, standing here at the front of our mats, go ahead and find our feet firmly on the ground here in our mountain pose. Just take a moment here, roll the shoulders back away from those ears. Go ahead and lift that heart center. We'll take a nice big deep breath in and ground ourselves into the mat. Let's begin our practice by taking a big inhale, reach those arms overhead, stretch it tall, and exhale, bring those hands to heart center. And just follow your breath, inhaling up and exhaling, releasing those hands. We'll do 3 more breaths here. And last one, we'll meet with those hands at the heart center here. And from here, let's go take our arms, inhale up. And from here, let's make a steeple with our hands leaning off the side here, moving into our moon salutation. Good, inhale, back center, and exhale off the other side. Inhale, back center, go swan dive it down, forward fold, exhale out. Hands on the shins, lift the heart center, monkey pose. Drop the chest, starting over again, big inhale, bring those arms overhead, exhale off the side. Inhale, back center, exhale off the other side. Feel stretch those ribs here. Inhale, back center, swan dive it down, forward fold, exhale out. Hands on the shins, find that monkey pose. Exhale, drop the chest. Let's go ahead and go through the sequence 3 more times on your own. Once you're finished, we'll meet back in our mountain pose. And once you finish, go ahead and take a moment here, find those feet back on the ground, roll those shoulders back, find that mountain pose, and feel the sturdiness, strong foundation here of this mountain pose. So from here, let's go ahead and step 1 foot back, find a warrior 1 stance here. So bending that forward leg, back leg is extended, and let's hold our hands in front of ourselves as if we're holding a tray here. So just take a moment here to suck those abs in, check in. Should be able to see that big toe. And from here, you can join me with some movement if you choose. From here, go pushing our arms forward, leaning into that forward leg. Good, exhale, pull it back. And just follow our breath. Exhaling, pushing forward. Inhale, pulling it back. And just continue this push-pull motion, shifting our weight from forward to back. Both feet are continuing to stay on the ground. And last one, let's go ahead and end on a push here. Go ahead and push and hold. And from here, lift those arms overhead. Find that traditional warrior one. And just take a moment here to shrug those shoulders back away from those ears so you can engage those back muscles. And from here, let's go ahead and drop our arms. Find ourselves goalpost arms here, that chest open wide. Following our breath, inhale, reach those arms overhead. Exhale, opening up that chest. Inhaling up, reaching overhead. Exhale, goddess arms, goalpost arms. And just continue following your breath here. Exhaling and inhaling. So with each breath, opening up that chest with each breath. And last one, let's go meet with those goalpost arms here. Open up that chest one more time. Nice big breath. And let's go ahead and release those hands. And let's go ahead and square ourselves here. I'm going to take a big inhale up. Let's hinge those hips, swoop it down, sunflowers. Inhaling up. Exhaling, hinge those hips, swooping it down. Just continue here with your sunflowers. Making this movement big, warming up our bodies. And let's do 2 more big sunflowers here. We'll meet with those hands back at the heart center. And we'll just take a moment here to settle into our wide-legged straddle here. Finding that moment of stillness. And from here, let's go and shift our weight around, find a warrior one on the opposite side. So take a moment here, bend that forward leg, send that back leg. You'll see the knees over there, the toes over the knees here. And let's come back to that tray, holding that tray. From here, if you'd like, let's come back to that push-pull motion here. Go ahead, exhale, pushing forward, leaning into it. Inhale, pulling it back. Exhale, pushing forward, leaning into it. Inhale, pulling it back. And just continue with this motion here. Again, both feet stay on the ground. Just transfer your weight from forward to back. And last one is going to end on a push here. Go to push and hold. Go to lift those arms overhead. Find that traditional warrior one. Let's go to release those arms and clasp our hands behind ourselves. And either clasping those hands or squeezing a beach ball, find that chest expansion. And let's go to release those hands. Let's again square our chest here, finding ourselves back in our wide-legged stance. Coming back to our sunflowers here, inhale up. Hand toes, hips, swoop it down. Following our breath, inhaling. Exhaling down, inhaling up. So follow your own breath here. And last one, let's meet with those hands back in the heart center here. Stretch it tall, hands coming back to the heart center here. Again, finding that moment of stillness here. So from here, let's go and take our toes and point our toes back to the edges of their mats. And making sure knees track over the toe, let's go ahead and squat it down here into a goddess pose. So again, you should be able to see those big toes, and if you need to, you can walk those feet in a little bit further so you're not as open here in those hips. So from here, let's go to lift one heel up off the mat, holding it here. Feel that quad work. Good, release that heel. Lifting the opposite heel, holding it here. And release. Good, lift the opposite heel. Let's go to pulse 3 times. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold. Release that heel. Lift the opposite heel. Pulse 3 times here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold. Release that heel. And just continue to move between sides, lifting the heel. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold. Release the heel. Other side. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold. And release. Go ahead and do that 2 more times each leg. We'll meet back in that squat. And meeting back here in our squat, you can continue to hold the squat or try a balancing pose here, lifting both heels up off the mat. Woo-hoo-hoo. And let's go ahead and release those heels. From here, go straighten those legs, inhale up. Let's exhale, straddle it down, releasing it down to our hands on the mat. Releasing that head and neck, just go ahead and shake that head no, gently. And remembering our exhale here. And from here, let's go move our hands to our quads. From here, tuck our tailbone, go roll it all the way up. So go to extend those arms, find yourself 5-point star, big breath in, that chest is open, chin to the sky. It's like you're receiving all the goodness from this world here, taking it all in. And let's go to release those hands. Let's step it back in front of our mat here. Get those feet on the ground. Take a big inhale, stretch it tall. Let's one leg down. Down, find that forward fold. Release that head and neck here. And moving our hands to our quads. Let's tuck that tailbone, go roll it all the way up. Big shoulder roll when you come that top. From here, let's go to step 1 foot back, find a warrior 1 stance. Either leg, doesn't matter. We'll get to the other side. And I invite you to express your own warrior 1, however you like to express it. Whether those hands are at the heart center, arms overhead, arrow arms down by our side, chest expansion. Decide for you how you would like to express your warrior 1 in this moment. And now we're about, let's go ahead and inhale, and let's go ahead and open it up to warrior 2. So go ahead and take some time to adjust yourself. Make sure those feet have a nice solid foundation. And from here, let's go ahead and release that hand to the back leg. Take the opposite arm, bring it overhead. Find that reverse warrior here. So you feel that stretch running all the way through the sides, through the ribs, all the way up into that shoulder. Let's go ahead and release it back down, warrior 2. From here, let's go ahead and release our forearm to our quad, reach the opposite arm overhead. This is our side angle. So making a nice long straight line from your fingertip to your heel. Nice diagonal straight line. Let's go ahead and release it back, warrior 2. And let's go ahead and cycle between those 3 poses. Release that hand, find that reverse warrior. Go ahead and pause, hold. And release it, find ourselves back, warrior 2. Go ahead and pause and hold. Release the forearm to the thigh. Opposite arm comes overhead, side angle. Go ahead, pause, hold, reach. And release it, find yourselves back, warrior 2. Now just go ahead and cycle between those 3 poses here. Go ahead and pause and hold between each pose, getting what you need out of that pose, moving at your own pace. And let's go ahead and finish where you're at. We'll meet back in that warrior 2. And let's go ahead and release those hands. Let's go step it back in front of our mat. Take a moment, roll those shoulders back away from those ears. I'm going to switch directions here so I can continue to face the camera here. So from here, let's go ahead and step the opposite foot back. Find our warrior one stance, opposite side. Bring those arms where they belong for you. Deciding how you'd like to express this warrior one might be different from last time. So take a moment here in our warrior one. And let's go ahead and release those arms and open up to a warrior two. And I have my little Izzy here making an appearance. Always a glamorous person, gotta make her appearance. And from here, let's go ahead and release that hand to the back leg. Reach the opposite arm up, find that reverse warrior here. And let's go to release to find our warrior twos again. And now releasing our forearm to our quad, reach the opposite arm overhead, find that side angle. Reaching up and out of that hip here, get a nice long stretch. Let's go find ourselves back, warrior two. And cycling between those three here, pausing in each pose on your own. And good, finish where you're at. We'll meet back in our warrior two. And let's go to release those hands. Let's go step it back in front of our mats. Go take a moment, roll those shoulders back away from those ears. We're gonna take a big inhale, stretch the tall, small, navel down, forward fold, exhale out. Good, release that head and neck. And moving our hands to our quads, let's tuck our tailbone, go to roll it all the way up. A big shoulder roll, and you come to that top here, find our mountain pose. Shoulders back away from his ears. So from here, we're gonna move into the tree. So this is a balancing pose, taking our time to set ourselves up. So get that solid foundation here. I'm gonna take a moment here, get a slight bend in those knees, pull those abs in. Hands down by our side. And from here, just go shift our weight over to one side. Either side doesn't matter because we'll move that other side. Now this right here is option number one. Option number two, you can take that toe pointed out to the side. Option three is to drag that toe in so that toe's resting here on the ground. Heel is at that ankle. Option four is to move that foot up the leg. And if you feel so inclined, you can reach down, grab that ankle. Bring that foot up, bring it all the way up into that groin. And if your pants are slidey, your foot slides down your leg. Anyway, find where that foot belongs for you. And deciding where you'd like those arms to be, whether they're down by your side, hands on the hip, open wide, or narrow the center of gravity, arms overhead. And let's go ahead and release those arms. Woo-hoo, my tree is wavering here. Go ahead and release that foot down. And go ahead and shake it out here. Shake out that low back. All right. When you're ready, come on back here, feet on the ground. Pull those abs in, chest up. Make a conscious effort to engage that core here. Slight bend in those knees to engage those quads. And shift our weight over to the other side. And deciding where you'd like to work. Option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. And decide where those arms belong for you. Just continue to hold and breathe. Find a spot on the floor to focus on. That really helps in these balancing poses. And let's go to release those hands. Release that foot. Go ahead, shake it on out. Come back, find our mountain pose. Just take a moment here to check in. Where are those shoulders? Roll them back away from those ears. So from here, take a big inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Hands are on the mat. Release that head and neck. So from here, we're going to switch around to get a side view here. Place those hands on the mat. Let's go ahead and step our feet back, find our down dogs here. So go ahead, exhale out, press those heels toward that mat. And take a moment to shrug those shoulders back away from those ears. Keep those back muscles involved. And from here, let's go to lower hips into our plank. And so here in our plank, we can be in a high plank. If we're hard on our wrists, we can use fists for wrists. You can also come down on your forearms, and you can choose to be in a full plank or a half plank. So deciding how you'd like to hold that plank, go ahead and hold it here. Keep holding, you're strong, you got this. And let's go ahead and release those knees. Hands on the mat. Let's go ahead and push ourselves back. Find ourselves child's pose. And from here, let's go to roll ourselves up, come up to all fours. From here, let's go to shift your weight around, go and sit it on down. And let's just go ahead and bend those knees. Let's just drop our torso between our knees, relax that head and neck. And lifting our head up with hands beneath those knees. From here, let's go ahead and roll ourselves all the way down. Whew. And just take a moment here. Allow that low back to settle into the mat here, and take a few moments here to couple pelvic tilts, tick-tock those knees, just release that low back. Good, coming back to center here, feet flat on the ground. So we're going to move into the fish. It's an inversion here. And so if you have any condition or any thing that you don't feel comfortable adding pressure to your head, you'll just continue to hold this pose right here. So if you'd like to join me for that fish, just go ahead and rock those hips. So place those hands underneath those hips to get a base here, support that low back, that sacrum here. And from here, extending both legs out. And again, remember, you can move as far into this posture as you wish. From here, go ahead and prop yourself up on your elbows. And from here, just go ahead and roll that neck back. So here, that throat is open, that chest is open. Continuing to breathe. And go lifting your head up, let's go and release that fish. So I'm going to bring our elbows out from underneath ourselves, roll ourselves down, bend at those knees, and take those hands from underneath our hips. Go ahead, take a moment here. Couple pelvic tilts, tick-tock those knees, find that low back. And let's go bring our knees into our chest now. We need to do counter pose to that inversion here. Move that spine in the opposite direction, which it was going to, just to balance it out. And if you want, go play with those feet here as you're holding this knees to chest, just rotating those feet, moving them however they need or want to move. After we just go drop our arms out to the side. Moving into a spinal twist, let's drop our knees off to one side. We'll go to look in the opposite direction of those knees here. Let's go bring those knees back up to center. Drop our knees off the other side here. Find spinal twist opposite side. Just go ahead and breathe into any areas of resistance. Here in the spinal twist, we do get a stretch in those rotators through our spine, but we also get a stretch through that glute, outer hip, and as well through that chest here. So just go ahead and breathe here and be, allowing that passive stretch. Let's go and bring those knees back to center here. Go ahead and hug those knees one more time. And let's go to release those feet down to the ground. Once those feet come back down to the ground, just go ahead and couple pelvic tilts. Tick-tock those knees. We're finding ourselves back in our neutral spine. So we're going to begin to move ourselves now into our final relaxation. So deciding which shape, final shape you would like to take. So whether you're looking to take that traditional Shavasana, if you're taking care of your low back, this is a great place to be. You can also take this opportunity to try other options like sleeping baby pose on your side or legs up a wall, particularly if you're practicing at home and you have a wall close by. Great place to be. Legs up a wall are great if you have migraines or headaches. It's also a great way to recover, like if you've been running a marathon and you've got a lot of toxins in your legs you'd like to release. Legs up a wall is a great way to release those toxins, again, in a passive way. So just go ahead and take a nice big deep breath here and allow yourself to settle into the mat. If you feel comfortable doing so, go ahead, gently close your eyes. And I'm just finding your breath. Just bringing your attention to that ebb and flow of your breath. And just allow yourself to feel that flow. Find that rhythm. Find your rhythm. And then just taking these next few moments to just breathe and be. I'm going to take myself out of the screen so as not to be a distraction. So go ahead and take a nice big deep breath wherever you are at. And from wherever you're at, with bend the knees, bring your feet so they're flat here on the floor. We're a couple pelvic tilts, gently tick-tock those knees. Just bring a little bit of movement back to our bodies. And when you're ready, gently roll over onto your side. Go to find that sleeping baby pose. Roll up on that shoulder on your side into that little ball. And when you're ready, with one hand at the shoulder, begin to gently push yourself up. Just go ahead and find yourself back, easy seated position here. And as you come up, go ahead, couple neck rolls, couple shoulder rolls. Go to work out any kinks out of those shoulders. And go to find yourself back center here. The shoulders back away from those ears, that heart center is open. And from your sacred arms, circle, sweep those arms overhead, stretch it tall. Reach as tall as you can from here. Drop those shoulders, drop those hands, finding those hands at the heart center. Allowing those shoulders to settle. And namaste. So thanks again for joining me, and have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving if you're doing this before Thanksgiving. Take care, and I'll see you next week.